Good evening. How are we doing this evening? Right? Had an amazing day. I had an amazing day. I had such an amazing day. I was emotional. I wanted to just go climb to the top of the mountain and just hang out there all day. But I knew that I had to come here because I had made this commitment. And I am so very excited to be here. My name is Will Zecco, and I am on staff here at the Southwest Institute of Physical Arts in Tempe. I don't really know what to tell you what I do because it's probably easier to tell you what I don't do. But my main job here is there's an entrepreneurial support center that we manifested a couple of years ago. It was a brainchild of Casey Miller's mind to create this support center for the entrepreneurial part for our graduates. And it's my job to manage that and to be there to support our graduates as they step out to play their digital races and take them out into the world in a loving, thoughtful way. So that's kind of what I do here. But I'm also on the staff at the Spirit of Yoga, I'm a yoga teacher, and I teach YTT program, and I also chant and gong and do all those kinds of things. So we have kind of a mixed bag of things that are going to happen tonight. So I'm going to invite you to take this journey with me, to be open. I'm going to invite you to be open. That was really That was really open. Is that the universe that just opened? So I'm going to invite you. What is that you're trying to do? This is where you have your mic on. Huh? Is my mic's position? Is that my heart? Listen, that's my heart. That's a really good thing because we're going to do some heart openings now. This whole thing is going to be about opening our hearts. How are we going to heal our hearts? So before we get started with all this, how many here have ever had a broken heart? Good. Good. So the first thing I would like to do is introduce the two gentlemen who are here on my right. It's Nacho and William, and they are part of a group. It's actually Nacho's brainchild, and it's called Ignite the Light. And it's an event that happens here at Sweha on the third Saturday, and we chant, we drum, we do a lot of freestyle movement, and it's an event that is open to everyone and everybody. So if you're free and available to come hang out with us on the 32nd or the 15th of this month, we have Ignite the Light here. And then we're also, as part of our closing piece in the heart opening, we're going to be moving through some chakras, some heart opening. There's going to be a little bit of chanting involved. We're going to be playing the gong. The boys are going to be accompanying me on the drum and hinge and all that kind of stuff. So you're in for a treat and a ride tonight if you're ready to get on. So we're all good? Great. Okay. So the first thing. We have modalities available. There's a yoga nidra, there's some life coaching, there's toe reading outside, there's a polarity cranial signal clinic that's happening after. To save me from having to tell you where, because I know you won't remember by the time I get done, you were all given a little piece of paper here, and it will tell you where all the modalities are. And all these modalities are being offered by our amazing graduates in student service school. So I offer you the opportunity to try something that you may have never tried before. Also, as far as summer, you can reach me at Will Zecco or willz@sweha.edu. But anyway, I don't know if you noticed in the hallway, there's all this beautiful artwork that's in the hallway. And we invite people to come and show their art here. It's a very normal fee to have it come here. It changes out. Barb, when is it changing out?
March 29th.
So March 29th is changing out. So if you know of anybody, or maybe if there's a hidden artist inside of you that wants to show and possibly sell some of your beautiful work, you can contact me, or I'll find the cards before the night's over. You can contact Barb and set that up, and we'll get your beautiful artwork on the halls of Sweha. That's what keeps everything so wonderful. And we have a raffle. So who's got the raffle tickets? Who's got the basket with the raffle tickets? So come to raffle. We're going to do all this important stuff first. This is the purpose. I'm not going to let you go. That way at the end, we won't be crazy. All right? No more again, no way no more again. Alrighty, are you ready? Last three numbers. 8, 4, 2.
Can't read. Turn the light on.
8, 4, 2. 8, 4, 2. Come on up and claim your prize. You have a 1 complimentary Reiki session. Now, just so you know, all of the prizes that we're giving away this evening, they are donated by our graduates. So, another way that we reach out there to help support our students in our graduates. Are you ready? 8, 3, 7. Complementary compensation and complementary quotient. You guys want to be your best friend? All right, here we go. You know, I think I'll have you. That way they can't say that. Stacking the cat. I have no sleeves to pull off from under. All right, here we go. 8, 4, 7. Yeah. Please, see that? Purple trees. Wow. And I'll let you pull the next one since you won this one. Now they're going to really think that this is something great. But the next one is 8, 3, 8. 8, 3, 8. There we go. Delicious detox. 90-minute holistic nutrition. All right, wait a minute. Before you go, I'll let you finish the next one. All right, here we go. 8, 3, 9. No, I didn't do this on purpose. No. I have the proof. The proof is in the pulling, right? There you go. We're going to say we're ranking it with our people stress. 8, 4, 6. And you also cover afraid of making it go for stress. There you go. That's all the prizes. Okay, do I have any graduates in the house? My graduates, come on down. Come on down. Right up in front here. Then you line up. Right in here. Line up right in front. Every time you do something, let's have you come over here. That way they're more on the light. Okay, so we have 4 graduates. So one of the things that we like to do at our Gifts and Graces every month is take an opportunity to honor the students that have either completed the program or moving on. Have you decided to become a lifer yet? Yeah. Typically, when you go to school and stay home, you never graduate. Like you just keep signing up and take a program, and then you sign up for another one, and then you sign up for another one, and then you sign up for another one. And then before you know it, I begin to think that you're all sacked because you spend as much time on campus, right? So it's really, really important for us to honor our students and our graduates when they finish their programs. And this is an opportunity for us to do this publicly in front of all of our friends and family and maybe people we don't know. So we have a little process that we do here, and we light the candle. Is anybody not going to do this? Oh, here we go. Technically challenged for sure. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go over to the table and pick up the candle, light the candle from the Sihak, or I like to refer to it as the spirit of Sihak, and that's where the facing is. That's facing the light of Sihak. Light the candle and then put yourself up the red or the left. Okay, so I'm going to be the first person to do that. You can put the candle right in that purple sand there. They both came out first. Why don't you step over to the next one? left and right. Is there someone else? Or four?
That's me.
Did someone bail on me?
No, I just did.
Huh? You split? So did you get the rules? What did you get the rules? So the first thing you have to do is after a while, you have to take my car off the car wash. What you're going to do is pick up a candle, light the candles on the candle, which you have to put it in the same way, and then put yourself up a little. So, what I'm going to invite you to do is tell the world your name, the program that you have completed or graduated, and then if you could share with us briefly what it is you're going to do with this. Where are you going to take this?
My name is Mattie Stepanek, and I graduated from the Life Coaching program, and I absolutely love, and I'm not going to start reaching it. I'm thinking about taking it to the next level and really start doing some major marketing and using editing. I'm Kim White, and I graduated from the Technical program, and I took the multiple years of mine on the Apache program. I've already heard like I use it also in every video. Hi, my name is Mattie Stepanek, and I graduated from the Western Graduate and Coaching Nutrition program. And working in radio, Amy, and
Hello, I'm Brianna. I graduated with an associate's from the Herbalism program as well as the master teacher. At the moment, I'm taking private clients for both safety and herbalism. I see myself as kind of matching able to play. For all your playing.
Well, ladies, blessings to me. What an amazing journey you have been. So, what I would like everybody to do here is we're going to bless them in the sermon. So, we'll all hold up a hand, and together we are going to say, we bless you.
We bless you.
We honor you.
We honor you.
And we see the greatness in you.
And we see the greatness in you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Isn't that nice big hand? Okay. So, now we're going to get to this. Okay. The whole premise for this evening, for me, started about a year ago, maybe a little bit more. And I had an opportunity to share one of my gifts. I was singing, and I was invited to be a guest singer at the Blvd Institute. And there was a woman there, she was doing a presentation, and I had no idea what this presentation was going to be at all. And all I knew was that I had to show up and I had to sing a song about the heart. That's all I knew. So I racked my brains, I went to, so I found a song that I thought was going to be perfect. And this woman came up and started to talk. And before I move forward with this, I'm going to share with you a video clip that she played that totally changed my life. So just give me a little technical time here. This is always challenging for me, so talk amongst yourself.
Well, the truth is I've done 1,500 shows, and probably in all of those years of shows that we actually counted, in the years before that, I've developed relationships with maybe 3 people in all those years, maintained a relationship. Mattie would be the single biggest relationship that ever developed out of the show.
So you've been writing poetry since you were how old?
About 3.
So you started calling it heart songs because what?
It was the song in my heart. It was the message in my heart. A heart song doesn't have to be a song in your heart, even talking about love and peace. It can just be your message. It can be your feelings. Some people might even call it a conscience, even though that's not really what it is. It's your message, what you feel you need to do.
I didn't know what a strong force he would be as a friend, as a spiritual conduit for me in my life. But I knew that what he had was real. I was glad that I said yes to it because I've been asked several times about this little boy who wanted to get his poetry on the show. I was resistant to it at first. And when I saw him and met him, my heart melted.
Our heart songs don't need to be the same because everybody has different ones.
Yes, and that's the beauty. We are a mosaic of gifts, and each of us has our inner beauty, no matter how we go. I mean, you're very beautiful, I know, but it's our inner beauty.
The thing that was so extraordinary to me about Mattie, and I think the thing that other people connected to, is that he had the child's spirit and heart and the energy of youthfulness and inquisitiveness and excitement and wonder about life.
This is your first time flying, honey, the 2, right?
Yes, it was.
And what was that like for you?
It was amazing for me. I mean, even especially when we had to go through this huge cloud. I saw a cloud coming, and I figured they would just go around it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, surrounded by light and stuff, I felt like I was in this fluffy marshmallow.
And this was he was a child, but I quickly began to understand he was a big soul in a little boy's body.
So, that young man, Mattie Stepanek. So just to give you a little bit of a background on Mattie. He was born 1990, he died in 2002. He had this disease, and I'm going to read it because I can't really say it. It's a form of muscular dystrophy, dystonic mitochondrial myopathy. And basically, what that does is that affects his breathing, his blood pressure, his oxygen levels, his digestion, everything. And it's one of these things that in children, when it's diagnosed, it's usually fatal. So from the time that he was diagnosed, they kind of knew that this was not going to be something for the long term. And he became, like Oprah said, this force in the world. He started writing poetry when he was 3 years old. By the time he made his transition, 6 books of his heart song, and I have one here. You get them there. responsibility. 6 of his books of poetry and 1 book of just his essays. All 7 books reached the New York Times bestseller list. He became a peace advocate, a motivational speaker, and lobbied on Capitol Hill on behalf of peace, people with disabilities, and children with life-threatening conditions. He also won numerous awards. During his short lifetime, and I strongly urge you to go and Google search Mattie, because there's so much more to the story. But he wanted to be remembered as a poet, a peacemaker, and a philosopher who played. And one of my favorite quotes from him is, while we are living in the present, we must celebrate life every day, knowing that we are becoming history with every work, every action, and every deed. So that is Mattie. Some of the things that have come out of this old man life, remember to play after every storm. Think gently, speak gently, live gently. Praying and playing and celebrating life every day in some way. To have these things come out of such a young person with such a wise, old soul. So why did this change me? Why did this change me? Well, I will tell you that after I saw this, I could barely get up and sing my song after this whole thing. So it was sort of like I had to recompose myself. And I was there for 2 services, so I got to see it the second time. And while I was sitting there, I really began to go deep. I really began to go inside and think, here's this little guy who knows he doesn't have long on this planet. And how could you not know that his heart was so open and so big? And here I am, walking around thinking my life sucks. Seriously. Don't you love it, those moments where you go like, oh, really? Seriously, not again. What did I do to deserve this? God must be punished with it. Seriously. Next time you're stuck in traffic, think about that. Okay? So in my quest to put together something around healing the heart, I came up with some facts about the heart, which I found very interesting. So I'm going to share this with you. Did you know that the heart beats in a normal, healthy heart beats about 72 beats per minute? 100,000 times daily. 3,600,000 times a year. It pumps 2,000 gallons of blood from every single cell of your body. This is my favorite. 60,000 miles of blood vessels running through your body. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. Your heart in a day creates enough energy to drive a truck 20 miles. It's the size of your fist. And it weighs 11 ounces. This little thing here does all of that. It starts beating 4 weeks after conception and does not stop until you're born. Take care of your heart. Take care of your heart. So why are we here? Why am I out there talking about this? Well, what are you holding in your heart? Now, you don't have to answer me. This is going to be a little, we're going to do a little inward work here. So, what are you holding in your heart? What are you holding in your heart right now? What is in it? Is there anger? Is there fear? Judgment? Anxiety? Pain? Or maybe something else that you may be holding? Confusion. Anybody else have something they want to add here? Greed. Anything else? Love. 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 Anything else? Peace. Compassion.
Patience.
Patience. Gratitude. Energy. Energy. Faith. High five. All of those answers are correct. But the most important piece here is when we when we come into the painful stuff, everybody has a belief that it's the love that is hurting us. We're hurt because of the love. We're not hurt because of the love. It's the insecurity in who we are. And who we are as a person who grounded here into the earth, as well as who we are spiritually. And typically when we come into a relationship, there's all that love stuff that goes around. But when the relationship falls apart, and I'm not just talking about a romantic relationship. I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about best buddies, co-workers, mother and father, husband and wife, brother and sister. When those relationships begin to fall apart, they typically fall apart because something takes place. And then we all go to this place that's called insecurity. And then we create these feelings within ourselves. So, if we look at the heart, and what kind of a tool, or what can we use to heal ourselves? Yeah, we can take a pill. I haven't found anything at CVS for a broken heart. If anybody has something, let me know. I personally have tried to bring you that nursing home. I just need the next course. So if we look at the heart, and if you know anything about us here at Sweet House, we're big on acronym. So this is the acronym that I have come up for heart. The first thing when we are in a relationship is we need to have honesty. We need to have honesty. When we're not honest, then things become confusing. And I'm not only talking about honesty with each other, but I'm talking about honesty with ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be true to ourselves. How many times have you stayed in something, in a relationship or of some sort, because it was too difficult to have that conversation with someone and say, hey, you know what? This isn't different. So what do? We stay in a relationship, the relationship falls apart, people get angry, hurtful things are said, and then it's a train. So the first piece about having a healthy heart and being open to awakening the pathway to the heart, to healing the heart, is to be honest. To be honest with yourself and honest with the person you're in relationship. And that includes people that you work with as well. Expression. When we talk about expression, what does that mean to me when I say expression? How you show it. Anybody else? How you speak it. Communication in general. Okay? Expression. How do we speak to people we are in relationship with? Do we have that? Does he snap on it too? Now let's jump back to honesty. Are you so brutally honest that now you're coming from a hurtful place? So how we express ourselves is also a way to open the pathway to begin to have a healthy heart. Or if we're in a place where we're not feeling like we're healthy, if we can change the way that we are honest with each other and the way we express to each other, then the healing begins. Abundance. So abundance. Okay? Why would I say abundance? Limit ourselves to what we can have. Yes. Good answer. Anybody else? The universe wants you to have abundance. Okay? Many people, myself included, at some time in my life, have believed that all there is in my life is lack. I have this mentality that I don't have enough. And I'm never going to have enough. Well, guess what? As you said, the universe wants us to have abundance, right? Well, if we don't believe that we can have abundance, we're not going to have it. We're not going to have it. As long as you come from that place of lack, then that's what you're going to have. That's what you're going to create. That's what you're going to manifest in this life. We take and we change the negative thought process around the amount of goodness that we have in our lives, and we turn it into a positive expression. So we change the way that we think. So now we change the way we talk. We change the way we communicate. And now we change the way we think. Respect. Respect above and beyond anything else. Respect those you're in relationship with, and respect yourself. Know what the boundaries are. Know what the limitations are. And respect them. Do not judge others because of what they think or feel. How many times have you ever had a conversation with somebody and they said, well, you know, this is what I'm really feeling like. I'm like, you don't know. No, you don't. No, you don't. Or you should, that's another one. You shouldn't feel that way. I would say, excuse me, but how do you know how I should feel? Right? You're not in my boots right now. Okay? Okay? And then the other piece about respecting the things is your feelings. How many times have you gotten into a place that real, oh, what was me? God's punishing me. I don't like anything I have. And then you say to yourself, oh, stop. You can't feel that. You can't feel that. You're not supposed to feel that, right? Why should I feel that way? So what do? We take these feelings and feeling it, when you become aware of what you're feeling, it allows you to change how you're feeling. So when you get to that place that you're feeling pretty crappy, you don't have to turn around and say, no, I'm not supposed to feel that way. You say, thank you, God, got it. I got it. I'm feeling pretty crappy right now. One more, just kick me in the butt one more time. It'll be all good. But then you make a decision to not live in that space. You experience it, you let it go. So, that opportunity, that experience is part of what colors the fabric, the texture of who you are as a person. There is a reason why God, Spirit, God's universe, whoever, from the frog, worship or pray to or whatever. There is a reason why you've been through this piece. There is a lesson. Sometimes the lessons aren't fun. Let's just be honest, right? They're really good. How many people have really crappy lessons? Yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm not alone in that world. I'm not alone in that world. The point is that if you really think about it, if you take a minute and think about it, what was the lesson you learned there? Yeah. There's something. There's something. And maybe if you don't know what that lesson is right now, 2 months, 5 years. When I sit by the pool, drinking a margarita, oh. That's why I have to go. Thanks, God.
No.
And then the last thing here for me is it's all about trusting the people that you are in relationship with. Trust them that they will allow you to be honest, to express what it is that you need, so that you can come into a place of being abundant, and then you can be in a relationship together that will be respectful of both people. So to me, that's what having a healthy heart is all about. Or a heart that's in the process of healing. So when you are through here this evening, and we'll go through our chakra opening and our meditation that we're going to do in a little bit. The thing that may start here, it may not. It may not start here. It may start 2 hours from now. But I guarantee you, if you take some of what I've shared with you this evening, it's a lesson. Jewelry or microphone? This jewelry, this was gifted to me today by a very special lady. And when she came and she put it on my desk, here we go. Am I on? There we go. See if this is on.
Yay.
Make a sound.
Yeah.
So where was I? So, in relationships, she gave me the necklace, It was kind of funny because I thought it was mine. So first of all, stop. She came in, she knows my taste in Jewish. You know, like that's on sale. But it was gifted to me. She gave it to me. And it's very, very special. I will wear it. Every time I wear it, I will make it photo. It's very special. We have a wonderful relationship. And she's one of those people that I can go say anything to. I can go in, close the door, and say, all right, can I have a moment? And I can say anything. And then we talk about it. That's a really special person to be in a relationship with. So, as Mattie mentioned in his interview with Oprah, that we are all individual people, and we have our own heart center. We have our own heart center. And the reason for us doing this process tonight, in this chakra opening and beginning to heal the heart, is to be able to give you a jump start to be able to hear your heart song. Because we are a mosaic of people in the world who have all kinds of relationships with many, many different people. Young or old, black or white, gay or straight, we are all people in relationships. So you heard me mention earlier that we're going to do the chakra opening. Okay, so this is going to happen a couple more slides and then we'll go right into this. So the heart chakra is right in the middle of the body. You have three above and you have three below. And the heart chakra is kind of like, I want to say it's like the horizon between the sky and the earth. Okay? When our heart is hurting, when our heart is not healthy, then the heart chakra becomes blocked. And there's energy that goes like this, up and down through the chakras. And what happens is, it can't go up further than here, and it can't come further than there, because there's a block here. The heart's blocked. Now, these three chakras here, these are the lower part. This is who you are, the root, the gut, who you are as a person. That's the bottom part. The top part is the spiritual side. It's that part of you that, here's how we call it the movie factor. You have all this stuff up here. And we need to have both of those because if we were up here in the ethers all the time, we would just be total fixed. So we need to have these root chakras down here to keep us grounded. But when the heart is blocked, we're disconnected. There's a disconnect to it. Okay? So when we move on into our meditation later on, and the bomb bath that we're going to offer here, this is going to be an opportunity for us to unlock the heart chakra. And I will be actually on the gong. The gong is actually broken into the 7 chakras with the heart chakra directly. So in the course of the meditation later on, I will be really working the heart chakra. Really working. Okay? Now, the cool thing about the gong bath and everything else, anybody can do it. Okay? You don't have to be over 21 to do it. All you have to do, I won't check IDs, so it's all good. Right? All you have to do, that's not what I would say. All I'm inviting you to do is to be open to receiving this opportunity. Okay? So that's the chakras. The first thing about awakening the pathways, you need to feel your feelings. Feel your feelings. Awaken, acknowledge what they are. Acknowledge, we already talked about that. Acknowledge I have these feelings. This is what's going on. This is what's happening right here. Look at them, bless them, and then release them. Let them go. Just shh. I don't need anymore. I'm good. Healing is the first step to healing. Healing is the first step. Allow yourself to feel. I don't think I've met anybody that's died from the living. Literally. So even in the healing process, if it doesn't feel so good, go. Go. The other piece is allowing old wounds to come up. The past. Baggage. Old tapes. For most of us, where we came from, or the way we think, is the way that we have been programmed from when we were a little kid. We come into this world totally innocent. We know nothing. We laugh, we smile, we eat, we move. That's it. And then as we move through the process, every single experience, we're learning something from somebody. So we take all of those things from when we were a little kid, and now we're adults, and we've got all this baggage that's hanging around us. Okay? It came from our parents. It came from people that we knew as we were growing up. They did the best that they could. How many of your parents? All right, we have, you know your kids, right? I have a 32-year-old daughter. I still wonder if I did the right stuff. I still wonder what I was. Did I love her enough? Did I buy her enough stuff? Did I treat her the right way? She got that from me. Now, I took the lessons that I learned from my parents, and I tried to do it a little bit differently, and I'm hoping that she took the lessons that she learned from me, and she's going to do it differently with my grandson. Negative thoughts originate in the past and were not healed. So even if you go back to the baggage, you go back to that part, if there's something that happened to you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you've never made peace with it, divorce, broken relationship, somebody passed away that you weren't in a good relationship with, and you didn't have an opportunity to fix it. Take an opportunity to go revisit those things and then change the way you think about it. If the person's not available to call up and say you're sorry to, write it. If it's an opportunity for you to reach out to somebody that's still there, put your big boy pants on, your big girl pants on, and call them up and say you're sorry. There's a way to begin the healing process. Take the things that have hurt you in the past and change the way that you're experiencing them. Maybe you release them, and then move on. So we change the sort of thinking, that current self-talk that's going in our head. How many have those talks in their head? I've got like 300 people that talk. There's always conversations going on. There's always something going on. You know, it's a good thing that there's not like a big LED screen up here. But it's amazing sometimes when you stupid stuff that I think. As you think, so shall you be. So the next time you begin to think about something and you begin to feel crappy, notice what happens. The first place that I feel anything is right here on my heart. That's where it starts. And then it usually goes down here. And then I get asked to reflect some of the rest. But it's those kinds of things. If I can break, then okay, fine. Got it? Got it? As you think, so shall you. Open the pathway. Most of the reasons why we hold on to all of this stuff is because we're afraid. We're afraid to let it go. Sometimes we're afraid to feel good. I can't feel good. I'm really alive. Excuse me, my cross is right over there. When I was younger, I used to have this phrase, and I think about it now, and now I understand why I felt like I did when I was younger. I used to say, well, I'm only happy when I'm miserable. I'm only happy when I'm miserable. It was when I was approaching the dark days of my soul, and I was going through my transformation. But there was a point in time where I thought that happiness was, there's got to be drama, there's got to be misery. I had to change the way I think about it. I also had to have faith, and this comes back to trust, that this path that I'm on is a good path, that it's not just a quick fix. I have to have faith in that I am a human being. And you know what? I am not perfect. I am not perfect by any shape or form. And I will fall off the wagon. I will come back to those places where I think I'm not good enough, where I have those feelings in my heart, where I'll have anger in my heart. Still being angry at something that someone did for me 20 years ago. One of my biggest aha moments when I started to do this work was just last September. I went back to high school. I went back to my hometown for my 40th high school reunion. And I was really in between about should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I. Because high school was a very painful time for me. I was one of those colorful kids. Right? I wasn't a football player. I wasn't a basketball player. I was in the glee club and I tapped it. Okay, just to give you, right? And as you know, kids can be mean. So I spent 4 years of my life in fear. Because at that point in time, bullying and not bullying people was not a, you could do whatever you want to do. So I spent 4 years of high school in fear. So when I got the invitation, I was like, why would I go back to spend time with these people that torment me? And it was funny because the conversation started on Facebook about this. One of my high school graduates with me, friend me on Facebook. And she said, are you coming to the high school reunion? I said, nope. Nope. So we started this conversation. And publicly on Facebook, I shared, I said, are you kidding me? 4 years of my life, which was the most miserable time of my life, you want me to go back and relive that? They didn't have a clue. But they called me Billy. Yeah, I didn't want to. Billy, everybody loved you. You're so talented. You're so. And I go, you think? You think? Well, let me tell you what it was really like. So I started to share, and it was like, they couldn't even believe it. They could not even believe it. So I decided that I was going to face my fear. I was going to go and show up at my 40th high school reunion. I hadn't talked to any of these people in 4 years. Moved away, all that kind of stuff. And it was really a catharsis for me. Because I went in there, it was amazing. It was truly, truly amazing. Because the people, the guys that were my biggest bullies, were the first people that came up to me and said, we're so glad you came. Thank you for being here. And I just it was such a healing for me to do that. But what did I have to do to heal my heart? What did I have to do? I had to change the way I was thinking, change the story in my head, change it. I had to trust that whoever is going to be there for me, I have to go in and think in a positive mindset, because when I started to think of this as a positive thing, what did I manifest in my life? A positive experience. I became what I thought. And then the coolest thing was that they welcomed my partner as one. And that was very, very powerful. Because it took me a long time to be able to get up in front of the group of people and say, this is who I am, and I'm proud of it. So it was another piece of my closet door. The Dalai Lama. An open heart is an open mind. When you open your heart, you open the door to endless possibilities. You open your heart, you open the door to endless possibilities. So let's do it. Ready? So, make yourself comfortable. If you're holding on to anything, I'm going to invite you to put it on. Put your hand back down, though, and I won't say it. All right, so find yourself in a really comfortable place where you can be grounded, place both feet on the floor. Let's relax and your eyes closed. Want to take your shoes on? Take your shoes on. And let's just begin to focus on the breath. Just inhale and exhale, just breathe. Find your own rhythm of breath. Use the breath as a vehicle to sweep out any thoughts that don't need to be there. Now I invite you to take your hand, right hand or left, it doesn't matter, place it on your heart. And I want you to go to your heart space. Begin to focus on what you are feeling in your heart. Is there something that you need or want or would like to let go of, to heal, to release? Just breathe through that. Now let's take our focus to the bottom chakras, and to that energy, the root chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral. It's down there. And breathe energy, bring light into the lower part of the body. Imagine that with each inhale and exhale, it's like fanning a flame, the fire becomes brighter. That pilot light begins to flicker in the lower part of the body. And just breathe. Now take a nice big inhale of breath. Inhale, take in as much air as you can, and then on the exhale, imagine that flame grows up and breathes and melts into the heart. So now the lower chakras in the heart, the light is connected. And breathe. Now let's take our awareness up to the upper chakras, the throat, the third eye, the crown, the spiritual, the place that we communicate. And begin to breathe light. There's that flame, flickering slow. Inhale, fill the body full of air. On the exhale, the flame begins to grow brighter. And now we take that light in the upper three chakras of the body, and we bring it into the heart. So press it down into the heart. Bring it into the heart. So now we have the light at the top and the light at the bottom of the heart and the mirror. So in your mind's eye, visualize that your hands are pressing on the top and on the bottom. And inhale here, fill the body full of air, and then as you slowly exhale, you're pressing the hands together, and now you're sealing the light into the heart. As we begin to move into the gong meditation, you can keep your hand on your heart if you choose to, or find yourself in a comfortable position, placing the palms down on the tops of the knees, palms up to receive. Let's everybody put our palms up so we're receiving. So we've just begun to open up the chakras, and we're going to move into the gong. I'm going to chant something, strike the gong 3 times to open it up, and then we're going to move into the gong now. There are 2 things that are going to happen. I'm going to unlock energy, and I'm going to move it out. So you'll hear the gong sort of wobble back and forth. That means I'm moving, and I'm locking, I'm shaking it up. And then when it begins to swing back and forth, that's when I'm going to move it out. And then gradually, the sound, the vibration, will slowly dissipate. Sing Is living aware of that. We take the awareness one more time into the heart. Placing the hand with the heart one more time. Inhale, nice full breath. And slowly exhale the sound. We seal the healing. We seal this process that we have done to heal the heart. We begin to listen, feel, acknowledge our hearts. So we open the eyes and ready. How are we doing? Good? I'm totally pissed out, just saying. Totally pissed out. So, that wraps up our gifts and graces. Yeah. Thank you for sharing with me this opportunity to feel my heart just a little bit more and step into my heart song, because this is truly my heart song. This is what makes my heart sing. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to share this. We have opportunities out here for you. Also, there's an opportunity if you want to stay in here. Nacho was going to talk a little bit about Sophia, which is some energy work that he does, and I'm not even going to try to explain it. But if you find that you can't get into what you want, if you want to stay here, we'll be here for a few minutes and after we'll share that as well. So thank you very much. Blessings, blessings, blessings. See you next month.